So usually we are doing content about Vienna, but Vienna is too cold and not as colorful as it normally is. Why don't I take you to a completely different place? Let's go. In our previous episode of Urlaub in Africa, we took you inside the auditorium here in the Bomas of Kenya, where we saw a selection of the best dances of the day. In today's episode, we'll take you for a walk throughout curated homesteads of Kenya to see and understand the way and functionality of the traditional Kenyan homesteads. At the end of this episode, we're going to show you a sneak view of what we have prepared for you in the next episode. If that sounds interesting, then lass uns anfangen. So we just got done at this beautiful hall here. That's where we were, and now we want to go check out the bomas. The homesteads, and there is Pumba. So the Bomas of Kenya first opened its doors in 1971, and it has welcomed over 10 million visitors here in the Bomas of Kenya, especially tourists, but also the area is used a lot for conferences. Okay, we need to go down this way, but I don't know if we go there or here. Here looks like there is more people. Kikwetu means our own. So there's Kikwetu handcraft here. We're going to go and see what's there. And now we actually have started this walk from the end. I think this is Rendille or Sakuye Homestead, and you can see the homes actually look very temporary, especially because the Rendille tribe is nomadic. So their homes, they usually put up the home for just a season. The next is the Masai. So we're in the Masai boma. The husband's hut is there. And we're gonna go inside all of this. So let's go in. There's a kitchen. And up here, it looks quite strong. I'm scared to look what is in there. I don't want to look. I don't want to see what is in here. I'm a bit scared. Oh, there's a little window. There's a bed. Ah, it's a bedroom, okay. I really like the Masai house. I'm so scared to go look there because it's so dark. See anything? Maybe not. The husband's hut. Hello, husband. Yeah. This is the Kikuyu homestead, the husband's, and that's the grandmother's hut. This is the first wife granary where you put food. The second wife and the third wife's granary. This is the second wife hut, and the first wife hut is so massive. And this is the third wife hut. And then there is always the son's house is always at the back. So that, and in many communities, I don't know Kikuyus, they have it facing this way. The hut of the son would be facing the back normally. And so when he starts a family, the family can now be on its own there. Not on its own really, but yeah. Always behind the house you will find firewood. They would tie firewood somehow onto the house. Yeah. This is the Kikuyu homestead. Kikuyus built their houses a lot up to date using timber, wood. Okay, let's go to another homestead. So the homestead will always be fenced with live fence, and this would be the gate. You can see these pillars here. So they would have this stick going all the way to here, and there would be several other sticks just crossing each other. Just to one stick coming here to here, another one, it could crisscross or just be straight on, and that really blocks the house. Not necessarily from people, but maybe from animals from going inside. Okay, let's go to another homestead. So this is the Ameru hut homestead, and you can see the same concept of the gate. You see? This is a lot. I don't know about other tribes, but the Bantus would do their gates like this. And always the husband's hut is always at the beginning, because the husband should be able to protect the home. And so this is the husband hut. There is the second wife. How come the second wife? The second wife is so close. Then there is the third wife is there. This would be the cow shed.
Yes, it's kitchen.
It's a kitchen. So this is the cow shed where the animals would be put. And then there is a first wife's kitchen. There is a first wife's granary. And the first wife's hut is on this side. So generally you have to understand that the homestead, the Kenyan homesteads, or maybe the African homesteads, were basically an organization, you know. Hierarchy was important. You see, the kitchen has to have a lot of ventilation. You see? It's the kitchen of the first wife. And so, there you go. And there is where you would place food. This is some kind of a granary. And there is a 3-stoned stove. Jiko. Yeah. So every wife has their granary. Granary is where you put the food. And so the cows would always be here. I still remember this from remembering my grandma's homestead. The cow's homestead would just be right in the middle. But in my grandma's place, there was that was my great grandma's hut, and then my grandma's hut would probably have been here, where this one is, and you'd have the granary and the place for milking the cows somewhere there. And then my dad's house. Yeah. Okay, changing the camera. Okay, so the camera actually just died, the camera that I was working with. So if you're keen, you may be able to see that there's a change in camera. And like I was mentioning, is that the homestead are actually built with a very functional architecture, if I would call it, in mind. There is the granaries that are used to store the food. There is the kitchen that is just next to the granary. And then there would be the first wife's hut, or quite next to the granary, and the food storage in the kitchen. And the husband's house is always towards the entrance. and generally is to keep the home safe. And just between the main gate and the homesteads is an open area, and in this area usually it's would be left out for just security purposes, so that if an animal like a lion gets in, you are able to hear it from the outer entrance. This here is the Embu Homestead. Again, the gate concept is there, always and ever. So there's not going to be such a huge difference with the homesteads to do with the Kikuyu, Embu and Meru. There is a food store, pretty much looking like the Embus. Also there is a food store again, you know. And you can see traditionally we did not need to have a fridge. So there is no food store that is created in a way to keep anything cool. You know, because how we would keep something cool if you want something to be kept cool, we would keep it in an earthen container. This looks a little bit. Mm-hmm. The what?
The mud.
Yeah, the mud, yes.
This is gray.
Yeah.
It's not reddish.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, this is different. It's a bit different. Okay, let's go to the next. Do you think they will chase us? Because he's really looking at us. Okay, he's now continuing to eat. Okay, so we have another homestead here. They are Kamba people.
There we are.
Yes. The Kamba are Bantus found in the eastern region of Kenya. They are mixed farmers and also hunters. They were first people to make poisoned arrows. Kamba are best in wood carvings. The man usually builds the homestead and guards it with the help of his sons. Next to the gate is a place called Boma. The first wife's house faces the cattle shed, boma, followed by the second and third wives. Next to the gate, to the right and facing cattle shed, is a man's house. It is never closed even when he is asleep, so that he may keep watch over the homestead and the cattle in the shed. So let's go inside the Kamba. There is a shed. Mm-hmm. And so here is the husband's hut. It's never closed, as we have learned. As I have learned together with... Oh my goodness, it's so dark. Yeah. It's interesting that inside it actually smells how it would smell for real, you know? So you see, I told you we would not really... It's okay, Shatsi. So the house would always have this part. You see, there's this additional part here. It's just to keep it more stable. But as the houses continued to improve, this one became bigger, so that people can also sit there. Or when you wash the utensils, you can place it there. And so, as we have had, the first wife's hut would be facing the cowshed. Yeah, there it is. And there's a second and the third. But of course, by the time I existed, my grandma was the only wife. I don't think my grandpa would have dared marry another wife. This is the cowshed. This is the cowshed. Yeah. When I look at it, I still remember when I was little, and watching my grandma get up and, to go to the cows to do the milking. And also in the evening when the cattle would come back. So I show you what I was telling you, yeah? Inside, you cannot see very well, but the fireplace is right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd always have the fireplace in the middle, and it's right where there is the pole that is holding the whole house together. Yes. Careful. So, I told you, my chats, that in the Kamba community, the married son's house always faced this side. Yeah, it never faced together with the others. Yeah, because now after this he would now begin to create his own boma on this side. Yeah, and at the end of the day, this would be like another home. But they still have to be together with the rest of the homestead, because it's the children that always took care of the elderly as they got older. As the people got older, the children take care of them. And of course, this is still continuing. We really take care of our parents. Yep. So this is the Kamba. I remember my grandma's granary even up to date. It's no longer there, but I remember where she used to keep the maize especially and dry grains. This is another granary here. Yeah, and always here at the back is what nobody will tell you, but you would come behind here to susu. Susu. Okay, that's what I did. I don't know if everyone did the same thing. Yeah, and you see the idea also of the thatch is the same. Yeah, but still these are very, it's very organic in the sense that everything that is building this is natural. It can be, if it's raised down, this place will look like there never was a settlement here. Like there will be nothing remaining like evidence that people lived here, generally. So let's go to the next house. This one here. Did we go here already?
No.
Ah, we came from there. Oh, the Kalenjin. The Kalenjin, there are really many. We have the Nandi, the Kipsigis, the Kayos, Marakwets, and the Tugen. All of them are called Kalenjins. And the Kipsigis are very beautiful people.
So when we count 43 tribes of Kenya,
Kalenjin is counted as one.
Ah, okay.
Even the Mijikenda, they are 9, but it's counted as one. I hope. I hope that's the truth. The same idea of the gates. And so, yeah.
Here we have a mixed homestead.
Yeah.
Wood
Yeah. The Kalenjins, especially the Kipsigis, I think they have a lot of similarities with the Kikuyus. Yeah, and sometimes you might not even know the difference. You might, when you look at a Kipsigis, you might think it's a Kikuyu, but then they tell you no, they are Kipsigis. So we see the Kipsigis have a house for the boys, the granary, and always the first wife. It was like an honor to be the first wife. Yeah, it was always an honor. And the first wife is the one who decided who's going to be the second wife and who will be the third. The first wife was very powerful. He's the one who was running the house and distributing the work to everyone. So there's a homestead within a homestead. Let's find out what, it's the second wife has a small, the second wife wants nothing to do with anything, and actually the husband probably loved the second wife more because why did they seclude themselves here? And there's a chance, this is my theory, I don't know if it's a truth, yeah, that the husband, the first wife, it was not love, you know, it was not love, it's an arrangement and all that, but the second wife, it's love. It always would be love, the second and the third. So the first wife is really there to manage the home. So let's go. And the third wife has been thrown out here, but still very close to the husband. But maybe, it's a married son's hat. Oh my goodness. Let's go to the next. This way, yeah?
Yeah. Show our hands when you explained it. Try it right a little bit in your hands.
It's like, this is how you eat it. So where is this hat starting from? It's on the other side. So maybe we were supposed to come down this way in the beginning. Are those monkeys?
Maybe.
I'm always afraid of these wooded places. Oh my God, how do you enter here? Oh, they are birds. You think those are monkeys?
I have no idea what they are.
So, this is the Luhya homestead. What? Oh, what is that? It looks like a kangaroo. Wow.
Very interesting.
What is that?
What animal was that?
I have no idea. I fear the bomas sometimes. So the Luhya would start.
What?
I'm listening. So the boys' hut, for me, I think we should go now. This is a Luhya. Look at this house. So has a, okay, let's just look at this one and go. I'm beginning to get really scared and start having scary thoughts. This is a husband's hut. It has something out here. Will I say that is for the cows, the goats? Because the goats always like to stay near the warmth. So maybe this was a place where you'd have the goats stay. I don't know. Or maybe it was just a cozy place. Let's get out of here. It's beginning to get quite spooky. Let's get out of here. There is the boma of the Rendille that we haven't seen. What does it say? Our Bantu is made up of 9 communities: Edigo, Giriama, Duruma, Kauma, Chonyi, Ribe, Rabai, Jabana, and Kamba. They've always lived along the coast. So let's just go in here quickly. And here is, do they say something about this tower? I think they say it. No? So this tower would always be here. You remember I made a picture here. Maybe I should make one more. This is stores for dried vegetables. So they used to dry vegetables. And here goes one house, the cattle shed. Aye, okay. I don't like these sounds. Okay, let's look quickly and run. But this is quite interesting actually. It's very interesting. Always, this is the second wife. the son, the married son, and look at the first wife's hat. Yeah, because most of the time the first wife would be also in charge of the food and would be storing the food as well. Let's go, let's go. But for me, this is the most interesting. Yeah. I don't feel like I want to go up there. So they created the tower that they can overlook the homestead and keep the house safe. They've not written anything about the tower. Nothing.
No.
Okay, let's get out of here. And there is this conference place. So this is where we were supposed to get out of. Or maybe there is a welcome. Thank you for visiting the traditional homesteads of Kenya. Welcome to the traditional, okay, so we understand. So you see, this is also built in the same structure of the homes. The traditional homes, you know, most of them are rounded and have this type of a hat. Yep. Okay, fertig. So, I hope you've enjoyed that lovely tour of the Bomas of Kenya, the homesteads of the Kenyan tribes. Till next video. In the next episode, you're going to drive all the way to Narok to live with and experience the modern way of living of the Masai community. That's actually led by a young, beautiful